What's up you guys, hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. So in case you live under a rock and are unaware of the recent outbreak of the coronavirus, it's time to wake up, stay woke, stay safe and uninfected. Now for some backstory, the outbreak originated in Wuhan, China, and it was because the people had bought infected snake meat and then eaten it. It was transferred from animal to human. Symptoms include fever, sore throat, coughing and difficulty breathing, but it takes anywhere from 2 to 14 days for them to actually start surfacing, and you're contagious all that while. So with that small introduction in place, here are the top 10 scary facts about the coronavirus. Starting us off at number 10 is the spread part 1. On January 20th of this year, the infected cases were a total of 282 and 6 people had died. 4 days later, it had infected 800 something people and 24 people had died. By the 26th of January, 2,700 people were infected and 80 people had died. In 6 days, it multiplied by 10 and spread to Australia, Canada, France, Japan, Malaysia, Nepal, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, US, Vietnam. Like that's 11 other countries in 6 days. I feel like coronavirus is using all its bloody flight miles to go across the globe at this rate, like flying more than I am. There are already 2 cases in Toronto. Like, do you know how far Wuhan is from Toronto? 11,635 kilometers. Never say never, people. It's here. It is now. Coming in at number 9 is the spread part 2. So now that I've scared you with how quickly it's spreading, let's figure out why the hell it's spreading that quickly. Well, first things first, like I said in the intro, despite symptoms taking 2 weeks to start showing, you are still contagious during that 2-week period. So people who have no idea that they have it are going around undetected, just passing it to other people unintentionally. Now that is one reason why it's spreading, and containing an outbreak is a lot harder when you don't know who a patient has been in contact with for the 2 weeks they were not symptomatic. It is an issue, I'm not gonna lie. It is so much more contagious than Chinese officials originally thought that they're actually planning on re-evaluating their strategy of containing it. And if the big guys up there are thinking we're screwed, I don't even know what hope we have. I don't know where to go from this, people. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. I am simply messaging. That's not a word. Just trying to add some light humor to this very dark video. Please excuse me. At number 8, we have the spread part 3. We've covered the facts, we've covered the symptoms, but there's one thing we haven't covered. Wuhan itself, also dubbed the Chicago of China, and as of 2018, it has a population of 11.08 million people. 30,000 people fly out of Wuhan every day, and that is a lot of damn people leaving the infected area that could potentially be carrying the virus as well. Trains in the area carry millions to different parts of China daily as well, so the spreading just doesn't end, and that's just public transport, not even private. Transportation in and out of the city was closed just before Chinese New Year, which is bad for the people in there that aren't infected, but good for the people on the outside. 3 billion trips were estimated to be made out of Wuhan, but thankfully they have not been successful. Imagine the spread if those people went on trips, like honey, let's not do that, let's not do that. Filling our number 7 slot is you. You have probably had a type of coronavirus in your lifetime at one point or another, but it was most likely a mild form. The virus is actually part of a whole host of other viruses that cause respiratory illnesses, like a cold for example. It causes things like bronchitis or pneumonia, which I feel like most people have had many times in their lifetime. I've only had pneumonia once, but I've had bronchitis a handful of times. Not that deep. Actually, it is for people who have died from it. Thankfully I did not, as I am here. If you've had any type of cold, hate to break it to you, but you had a coronavirus. Coronaviruses are all distinctly different from one another. There's 4 types, and they go by the names alpha, beta, delta, and gamma. Only alpha and beta infect people, and they all spread through air. Only 2 coronaviruses are deadly and have caused outbreaks in the past, and yes, the outbreak we're seeing right now is not the only coronavirus outbreak that we've experienced. And technically the title of this is wrong, because it's not a coronavirus. The outbreak is not of the coronavirus, because coronavirus is just a group of viruses. Just saying. I'm gonna be honest about it, just being facts really. Now at number 6 is MERS, aka Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, also caused by a coronavirus. The first outbreak of this was reported in Saudi Arabia back in 2012, but even that was traced back to a source in Jordan. Symptoms of MERS are exactly the symptoms of coronavirus. I'm talking fever, shortness of breath, cough, in bad cases it's been kidney failure and pneumonia. I would actually argue, this is factual, that MERS is actually more deadly than coronavirus. coronavirus. About 3 or 4 out of every 10 people infected end up dying. Since 2012, it's infected almost 2,500 people in 27 different countries and killed nearly 900 of them. It's highly contagious and can spread from person to person. It was literally confined to the Arabian Peninsula till one South Korean businessman traveled back to Seoul in 2015 and infected 186 other people. And those people were just near him, they weren't even talking to him. One person infected all that many people. Like, I would hate to be him personally. Coming in at number 5 is SARS, aka Acute Respiratory Syndrome, which is also caused by a coronavirus and resulted in an outbreak back in 2003. A few months after it was identified, it had spread to 24 other countries. It infected 8,000 plus people in 26 different countries and killed every 1 in 10. Like the others, it starts with a high fever, headache, body pain, trouble breathing, and so forth. Again, very contagious, it spreads super easily from person to person, mostly when someone coughs or sneezes near you. I mean, one sneeze can travel 3 feet and deposit on the mucous membranes of people nearby, and Bob's your uncle, you have SARS. The reason I mention MERS and SARS is because they're both technically coronaviruses too, and they were more deadly than the current one we're dealing with, so I mean, panic, but don't panic too much. At number 4 is downplaying symptoms. Now this one is US specific because healthcare over there is not free. People who are symptomatic may want to believe they just have a cold so they don't have to go to the doctor and pay for it, not knowing they're infecting a ton of people by just walking around living their lives. No matter how bad they're feeling, this is still a huge risk that is plausible in America because people don't want to spend so much money going to the doctor to treat a common cold. Why would they even bother when they can just go have some cough syrup and think they're cured? For that very reason, I'm actually scarily predicting that it could spread very quickly in the US. Let's come back to this video in a week and see if I was right. I hope I'm not. I don't want the world to burn, contrary to popular belief. I like Earth and people. Filling our number 3 slot is undetectability. You just don't know who has it, and that's scary in and of itself. You yourself won't even know if you have it, and that is terrifying. Imagine you're a bus conductor that has to give people their bus ticket every day, and you have coronavirus. Imagine how many hands you touch daily or hourly or per stop, and then imagine how many people that is per week. It just boggles my mind how patients can be contagious before they're symptomatic. Surely there should be some way to contain them before they spread it further, but there isn't, and that, my friend, is how the next zombie apocalypse begins. You heard it here first. Now at number 2 is coronavirus versus a cold. Now I've reiterated so many times in this video that coronaviruses cause the common cold, but what is the difference between when you get the common cold and when you get a coronavirus? Now we all know the symptoms of a common cold. We have the sniffles, blocked nose, coughing, fever and whatnot, and that's the same for coronavirus initially. But the big difference is that it actually causes lung disease, not just mere sniffles. It attacks your lungs, it attacks the membranes inside them, and you will know if you have a cold or if you have coronavirus. It's just one of them feelings. You just know. Like when you look at the love of life, you just know. And finally, at number 1 is treatment. To put it bluntly, there is no simple cure for it, just like there's not one cure for the cold. It's when coronavirus develops into something more and causes pneumonia, that is where the danger lies. There is no antibiotic that can treat viral pneumonia. The only thing doctors can really do for these patients is support their lungs with oxygen or a breathing machine. So I mean, for us, it sucks to suck. And that's it for today's video, guys. I know I peppered in a lot of my jokes through this video because I know it's a very real threat right now. I know people are freaking out. I just wanted to add some lightness to it. I'm not thinking this is a joke. I know the sickness is not a joke. I know people are dying. I don't mean to disrespect anyone. I just wanted to make it factual, yet a bit light. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Ayman Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. You erase that No one has to know, this is my second take. No! Here I am. Don't worry. Back stronger than ever. And what? Japan, Malaysia, Nepal, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan. I can't see the rest of it. God damn it. Whew. I need my inhaler. I don't have it. No, that's my lipstick. I like Earth and people. It's like that meme of Elon Musk, like, what do humans say? I like Earth and people.